If you're looking for quick, effective, and long-term, inexpensive gardening ideas, come with me on a brief tour of Sally's front yard. She gardens here in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is Zone 8A. We can pick up some design ideas from her simple borders at the front of her house. Let's go check it out. It's a delight to be here at Sally's yard again. It is mid-spring, and her front beds are a delight because they're well put together in terms of color and type of plant. You can see what you could easily do in your own bed and have a nice visual display for springtime. Some of these plants will rebloom into summer and maybe into fall. At the front of this bed are violas, and it's a lovely, simple design of white and deep purple. These are spring bedding plants. Right now it's in the 70s. They will be replaced with summer bedding plants in about a month or so when the temperatures heat up. Behind them, a beautiful display of 6 Stella d'Oro daylilies. These are repeat bloomers, and they bloom throughout the summer. Nice contrast of bloom form, bloom color, nice contrast of leaf structure. So it gives you a lot of visual interest. Then popping up behind the Stella d'Oros, you have a different shade of green, and these are some irises. The first patch has already bloomed, but in the back there is a similar patch, and you can see the lovely irises. They're providing the height in this bed. This is planted on a street curbside, and it gets full sun, and there's a lot of concrete around, but the bed is well mulched and the plants can maintain without having to have frequent watering, which is important. On the side, you have orange milkweed. These plants are starting to bloom. Milkweed is the host plant for the monarch butterfly caterpillar. These come up every year. Encore azaleas that have already bloomed are planted, and they bloom. This particular variety is autumn red variety. These encores will bloom again in the late summer, early fall. As we cross over to the other side, this is the driveway. So we have one bed to the left and another bed to the right. The colors are repeated, but we also have some different interest. The violas, again, the white and the deep purple, very simple pattern that would be easy to recreate. Beautiful plants. So if you don't plant dianthus, you can easily plant viola. Variegated Solomon seal behind them, very interesting leaf structure and color, and then some irises, leaves, Stella d'Oro daylilies, similar kind of leaf but smaller in size. Behind them are more irises, different leaf color and a different color bloom. Amaryllis that are blooming in the corner, and a repeat of the encore azaleas across the back, and a large planting of the Solomon seal, the variegated Solomon seal, that keeps enlarging and reproducing itself. So here in the bed, you've got primarily perennials, irises, daylilies, amaryllis, azalea shrubs, and the variegated Solomon seals. That's a great strategy in terms of your cost when you go to fill in your bed for spring. The primary plants you need to purchase would be the violas, assuming you're not doing your own seed starting inside. The lawn has white clover blooming, so you've got a lot of interest as you drive by looking at the lawns. Some of the clover that's actually pink. Great ground cover, and its roots are nitrogen fixers. It helps produce nitrogen to be self-fertilizing. The front corner of the house, as you drive up the driveway, the interest is some favorite plants. Roses that bloom this time of year. They're not the knockout variety, but in terms of their flower shape and color, they are, I would say, knockout looking, beautiful looking. And the red ones are spectacular in terms of their blooms. Gerber daisies. And this is a patch of thyme that's blooming here. You've got a little kitchen garden herb, which is a ground cover, and it adds a lovely piece of interest. So simple, you can just put it in and let it spread. This is an easy gardening approach, and the Gerber daisies come back every year. They're perennials. And across the front, you have a scented gardenia. They're a dwarf variety. They're low maintenance. They will not obscure the house by growing 6 or more feet. They provide a delightful scent. And they are evergreen, so it really gives a nice, more finished look to the front of the house. I hope you enjoyed our informal garden tour of Sally's front yard, and you got some simple but effective design ideas and very low maintenance, low cost, because most that are blooming for our pleasure are perennials. So you've got them year after year. If you have experience with this plant or other ideas, I'd love to hear about it if you'd share in the comments. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Gardenias for gardening tips, information, tours, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.